birth of this piece is kind of, it almost as like it's like kind of the birth of my oeuvre, my practice.
Oh, you can call it oeuvre. It sounds good.
Sounds like nice, yeah. Because it just started in art school. It's basically a typical somebody trying to do a cool piece in art school. Like, yeah, it's gonna be like spitting and very cool.
What did you do? What did you do before this piece?
I was mainly doing paintings. I was in painting class, and then I sneaked into like the multimedia class and did some performance and stuff, and also like I wanted to, and I think I was very inspired by a piece by Gillian Waring, this English artist who did this piece where a mother is beating up her daughter. But then I found out that they were like actresses. And then I thought like, I can do a piece like that, but just like the real thing.
Yeah.
And so therefore I asked my mother to participate. And yeah, and it was just very kind of simple, just wanting to do a cool piece. And
what were the reactions?
There was this thing. It's like I'm forever thankful for what happened, because it's like a good example of how important it is to be an art school teacher with an attitude. Because there was this great Dutch video artist called Arnold Meek teaching, and I was so proud of this video where my mother is spitting on me, and I showed it to him, and he was just not impressed, because he said you can really see that this is not what you're trying to achieve, you're trying to create a video that is disturbing or something, but you see that you are just pretending, and your mother is almost laughing, and it's not disturbing. You can obviously see it's about that your mother is an actress, and it's all fake. And I was bummed kind of, but then I just realized that is what's interesting about it, is that it is real, but it is fake. And from that kind of conversation, I just really kind of realized my interest in the realness of fakeness and etc.
You're from acting, you're from performance, or you're from theater, you're from performance. Some of the hardcore performance artists from the 70s, they really hate theater.
Yeah.
You didn't go to acting school, you went to the academy instead. Is that because you really hate theater?
No, I really love theater, but...
Thank you, darling.
But I just find this idea of, I just find visual art much more fun, because it's so much free. It's like total, being a visual artist is being a professional human being. And
You mean we actors are not?
no, you are human
okay,
props.
okay.
Sorry.
That's it.
No, just that and there was so much talk in art school about this difference between acting and performing. I myself, I have not really still understood the difference in a way. Because it's always like you work with some idea and you put yourself in a situation where you're performing that idea. Either if you're an actor or a performance artist. And first, in the beginning it was just then, a performance is when the artist performs his stuff, but then nowadays performance artist just has totally become show business also. And I don't think it's necessarily performance art. I think with Marina Abramovic's show at MoMA, I remember I saw it, I was just oh my God, it's over. But the good thing that was over was and I was so happy also that it's over this thing that performance art is holy. Because it used to be this holy thing that's not acting, it's performance art. But she just made these young people just okay, now you're going to do my stuff, train them like actors, and just train them into the roles. And it was really totally theater. It's like there's no difference between theater and performance there. And I thought that show really kind of freed the art world from this cliché of holiness about performance.
And she was the queen of real.
Yes, she was the queen of real, and she destroyed it all, and I love her for it.
But it's quite different because you, in all your professional career, you've been telling stories, and there's been a narration. You start and the story unfolds, and there's an ending. And what you do all the time, Ragnar, is, we never get anywhere.
No, I think I just, because I always got a bit tired of, because it's like because I remember like being raised in the theater, you're like, there's a new set and a new characters and new costumes. What are they gonna do? But then it was like kind of always the same story, in the place. And so because I just remember like always being interested in the situation that was created, but then the play was always a bit of a and so I think I just became interested in just like creating these like situations that are sculptural out of place. And also because you were always telling me about this old lady who had been making tableaus. Like my mother told me a lot about tableau vivant. And I think that was a very because I had never seen tableau vivant. Like it's like theater, but it's like a painting. And I remember like going with my mother to like the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. Wow. And like she was really describing Rembrandt as these stage scenes. Yeah. It was really it's interesting to have a Rembrandt guide who's an actor. You really get how it's totally scenes.
I really felt like seeing those wonderful paintings there in Museum, like there was a curtain that went, and there you saw a situation, and the lighting's perfect. What is the painter is saying is fantastic, and your imagination goes on, and it sees the whole situation. It is a theater.
Yeah, I just remember you talking so much about this, and I think that also had this influence on just thinking like it's more interesting, the theatrical situation, or the performative situation without the narrative.
The mother with child motive is also the biggest cliché ever. It's like the oldest motif in art history. We could start with Virgin Mary with the child. Go up throughout history, we have all the idyllic mother with child scenes from the Impressionists. Why is cliché a fun material to work with? Because you work with a lot of clichés all the time in your work.
Yeah, because clichés are such a fundamental thing in our language, like not just visual, in everything, in our imagination. Our imagination is like I remember when I was in art school and I saw the color chart, and I just got fear. I became so afraid. I just realized how few colors there are in the world. And the same thing is with our imagination. It's just like the color chart. It's like, it's so limited. It's like, like when human beings are like, I'm going to do fantasy. It's just like dragons and bubbles, It's always the same thing. And I'm intrigued by that and by these clichés as a part of our language. And there was one piece which really made me get it by this Icelandic artist called Magnús Sigurðarson. And it's beautiful. It's just a picture of him naked with a big cigar and a finger up his butt. And it's just called "The cliché is the ultimate expression." and I love this line, "The cliché is the ultimate expression." Yeah.